Welcome to Falcon TV. Subscribe to the channel to stay informed and inspire us.
Gun violence has emerged as a public health crisis in the United States, claiming over 40,000 lives annually. From horrific mass shootings to the daily toll of homicides, suicides, and accidents, firearms kill Americans at a rate far exceeding other developed nations. Comprehensive solutions are needed to confront the complex socioeconomic and legislative factors that have allowed this epidemic to persist unabated for decades despite public outcry. There are no quick fixes, but progress is possible through persistent efforts to enact sensible gun laws, implement community-based prevention programs, and change cultural attitudes around guns. The U.S. has the highest civilian gun ownership rate worldwide, with around 120 firearms per 100 residents. This availability fuels high levels of gun violence that have become culturally endemic. On an average day, over 300 Americans are shot, with 100 losing their lives. This daily loss of life far outpaces fatalities from car crashes. Compared to other high-income nations, America's gun murder rate is 25 times higher per capita. Half of all suicides nationwide involve the use of firearms, providing easy access to lethal means. The frequency of mass shootings in public spaces in America is exponentially higher than other countries. Attacks with 4+ victims killed now occur here once every 47 days on average. Urban neighborhoods endure the brunt of everyday gun crime, claiming young lives. Dozens of cities like Chicago, Detroit, and St. Louis have gun homicide levels similar to war zones, largely concentrated in minority communities. Attempts to properly study the gun violence crisis have faced systematic barriers, as the NRA has successfully lobbied Congress to block federal funding for firearms research over past decades. The 2021 Boulder, Colorado supermarket shooting that left 10 dead was perpetrated with an assault rifle. A renewed federal ban on these rapid-fire weapons could limit their availability for mass shootings. The Parkland, Florida school shooting in 2018 that killed 17 was carried out by a young man flagged as dangerous by acquaintances. Red flag laws allowing gun access restrictions on potentially dangerous individuals could help in such cases. The 2017 Sutherland Springs Church massacre, where over 24 worshippers were killed, might have been averted by universal background check laws. The shooter had a violent criminal history that should have prevented him from purchasing firearms. The 2022 July 4th parade shooting in Highland Park, Illinois that killed 7 and wounded dozens was perpetrated with a high-powered rifle fired from a rooftop. Restrictions on bulk ammunition purchases could help curb the stockpiling of massive arsenals by individuals. Most urban gun homicides, like recent deadly shootings in Chicago and Cincinnati, are perpetrated by juveniles or individuals with existing criminal records. Comprehensive background checks and licensing could help keep firearms from high-risk groups. Firearm suicide cases that end in death could potentially be reduced through waiting period laws that provide a buffer against impulsive acts, combined with red flag interventions for at-risk individuals. The Columbine High School massacre in 1999 involved 2 students who shot and killed 13 people and injured 21 others at their high school before committing suicide. This mass shooting highlighted issues around gun access for young people. The Virginia Tech shooting in 2007 involved a student who shot and killed 32 people and wounded 17 others at Virginia Tech University before committing suicide. It was the deadliest mass shooting on a college campus in U.S. history. The Aurora Theater shooting in 2012 involved a gunman who opened fire during a midnight screening of a Batman movie in Aurora, Colorado, killing 12 people and injuring 70 others. The shooting reignited debates about gun control laws. The Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012 involved a 20-year-old who fatally shot 20 children between 6 and 7 years old, as well as 6 adult staff members at the elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut. The tragedy led to a renewed call for stronger gun laws. The Orlando nightclub shooting in 2016 involved a gunman who killed 49 people and wounded 53 at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. It was considered the deadliest mass shooting by a single shooter and deadliest terrorist attack since 9/11 at the time. The Las Vegas shooting in 2017 involved a shooter who fired over 1,000 rounds into a crowd of concertgoers from his hotel room window, killing 60 people and injuring hundreds more. It remains the deadliest mass shooting committed by an individual in U.S. history. Chicago has high rates of gun violence and gun-related deaths. Over 3,000 shootings occurred in Chicago in 2020 amidst the pandemic. The Los Angeles shooting in 2022 involved a gunman who killed 10 people and injured 10 others at a dance hall in Monterey Park, California during Lunar New Year celebrations. He later went to another dance hall where he was disarmed. The Buffalo supermarket shooting in 2022 involved a white supremacist who fatally shot 10 black people and injured 3 others at a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. The Uvalde school shooting in 2022 involved an 18-year-old gunman who killed 21 people, including 19 children, at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. The shooter was eventually killed by law enforcement. The Highland Park parade shooting in 2022 involved a gunman who opened fire on a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, killing 7 people and injuring 48. Mass shootings in recent years have occurred at various locations including the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks, the Virginia Beach Municipal Center, a Walmart store in El Paso, and a FedEx facility in Indianapolis. The USA annually has high rates of gun suicides, accounting for over half of all suicides nationwide. Cities like Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, New Orleans, St. Louis, and Memphis have daily gun violence and homicides. Many victims are people of color. Shootings have occurred at various public places nationwide from California to Pennsylvania, including concerts, malls, movie theaters, houses of worship, and other public places. The policy measures discussed could potentially have limited access, lethality, or provided warnings in these and many other gun violence cases. Comprehensive reform and community-based prevention will require a combination of such approaches tailored to the complex root factors involved. Stemming the loss of 40,000 American lives annually requires confronting the gun violence crisis through legislative reforms based on data-driven policies, community-based prevention programs, and changing social attitudes around guns. Progress will depend on persistence, compromise, cooperation between parties, and a multifaceted approach. With concerted efforts, we can work to eventually control this long-running epidemic.
If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up. Thank you.